Hi there, this is Mark Williams, and this is another short video to show you something new on LinkedIn. It's new in a way. It's a feature that's been around for a long time, but just recently, just the other day, they announced that they've updated the new company search feature. So let me show you what it is and why I think it's important, certainly when you're looking at it using LinkedIn from a corporate point of view. So right across the top we have the normal menus, and underneath companies we see search companies, and that's the way you get to this feature. If I just click on that, now that's taken me through to this screen here, and you can see it's just got a basic search bar here. I wouldn't tend to use that, that's fairly basic, but if I click on search companies, that's going to give me a few more options. Alright, so up here I can type in this particular bar whatever I want to type depending on what I'm looking for, just as if I was searching Google really. So in this case I'm just going to use an example. So let's imagine I'm looking for, I'm new to the area, new to the UK, I'm looking to recruit an accountant, looking for some accountancy recruitment businesses. So I'm just going to type in accountancy recruitment into there. It's already there because I tried it earlier, and just click search. Alright, so we can see the result here, and reader at the top, then we've got Hayes second, Ambition third, and on you go from there down the list. Number of some better known organisations than others. Okay. Now on the left hand side I can filter this search result, which is logically what someone would do. I could say I want them just to be headquartered. That's not particularly important to me. I do want them in the United Kingdom. I want ones outside the UK, so we'll just look at those 310 that fall within the United Kingdom. But I could, be more specific about regions. So 68 in London. I could maybe put in, say, Manchester under here, for instance. Manchester, United Kingdom. So click on that. Okay, and there's 13 that appear in Manchester in the United Kingdom. And then if I unclicked on that one, that would just give me those 13. Okay. So that's one option. I could do that. I'll just go back to all locations again. In fact, no, let's just go back to United Kingdom. I could look at those that are hiring. Alright, so I could say let's just look at those that have actually got jobs that they are advertising through LinkedIn at the moment, and job seekers might do that. Interestingly, down here though I can look by industry, and this is where I think it starts to get really interesting, because what's happening if you look at this, right, so these are all companies that have mentioned the keywords accountancy and recruitment. That gap in between the two words is seen as an and command, so we must have those two words within the profile, not just the company profile. I'll come to that in a second. 246 of those 310 companies have called themselves as their industry staffing and recruiting, and rightly so, because if that's what I'm looking for, then logically I'm just going to filter by that as well. So United Kingdom and staffing and recruiting. In doing so, the companies that have called themselves human resources have missed out. Let's have a look who they are. I wonder if there's any recruitment companies, actually accountancy recruitment companies in here. And straight away, just by the name, Source People, that sounds like a recruitment company to me. Not so much Dovetail, they don't look like they are, but Naked Recruitment, there's another one. Mango Personnel, another one. ABPM Financial Recruitment. So these look like, to me, recruitment businesses, but they're calling themselves human resources. All right, let's take a different approach. Let's look at those that call themselves accounting businesses. Okay, so what have we got here? First option, I don't know. Adele Car Financial Recruitment Limited. Clearly not an accountancy business, that's a financial recruitment business. For financial recruitment, another one. Astute Recruitment. Okay, so not good. People not realizing the importance. Previously there probably wasn't a lot of importance to what they called their industry, but it's particularly important now. These companies will be missed on that kind of search. And you can see there are plenty of others down here that fall into a range of different categories. So I think that's quite important. In addition to that, just look how it looks. All right, so look at these companies. This one here, and this one here, and this one here haven't put their corporate logos into their company profile, which is a missed opportunity for a start off anyway. But it's particularly important now that people can search companies in this way. they don't stand out very much. And I think the reality of this is that such companies, I guarantee if I click through on these companies and then click through on the link to their website, which probably is there, I'm sure their website wouldn't have a bland grey picture like that. So quite important, I think, that we get corporate logos within company profiles as well, because they certainly stand out in a search result. That looks great, that one there, doesn't it? Just a shame they didn't call themselves Staffing and Recruiting. Okay, so let's go back to the ones that got that right and put themselves to Staffing and Recruiting. So let's just examine for a second, why is it that Reed are top of this search result, Hays are second and Ambition are third? First off, we can immediately see that they're big companies. You know, Reed and Hays are both over 1,000 staff. Ambition not as big, but still a fairly large organisation. But they do come above Huxley Associates, who have 201 to 500 employees, or they're similar size to those people, but they come above Jocelyn Rowe, who've got 51 to 200. So why are Ambition higher than those? Okay, well, I think possibly the reason for that is there may well be more people within that business specialising in accountancy recruitment. Reed and Hays also do other things apart from accountancy, but they are their main areas. They have big areas specialising in accountancy recruitment, and that counts in terms of this search result. And I'll show you why I know that, because the blog announcement to this, you can see here, the bit that I've highlighted here, this is LinkedIn telling us about this new feature, and it says, when searching for a company, we not only look across the words used to describe that company, so that is also important, but also the words that the company's employees use to describe themselves on their LinkedIn profiles. Okay, so my point therefore being that people at Reed and people at Hays and Ambition have potentially mentioned accountancy recruitment within their personal profiles, as well as it being mentioned within the company profiles. And because they've got lots of employees, that therefore means that the company profile becomes significantly more optimized as a result. Now, I can change the sort by relationship, so looking at those companies where there are employees that are closest to me, by followers, so those who've got the most followers. I'm not sure too many people would be interested to do that, but it's another feature. Or by company size, so I could change that and say let's have the biggest companies at the top. In truth, it'll probably be a fairly similar result, slightly different maybe, but largely it's the large companies that are coming up top of this result anyway. I could alter that though if I wished. If I said, well, I don't particularly want to deal with these bigger companies, what about the smaller ones? Because I can actually filter down here by company size, alright, by number of employees, you can see. Okay, so if I click on that one, for instance, you know, 1,000 to 5,000 staff, there are 6 of them, 2 of them ranking are the first 2. That gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. I can also filter by relationship, and also by whether they're hiring on LinkedIn as well up here. Number of followers, I can look at that. Again, I'm not sure too many people will be bothered, and fortune's not really relevant in this country. So, interesting what's going on here. So this feature catches on, people are going to start to really look at companies and search for companies and almost use it like a directory of organisations. I mean, I've been using LinkedIn in that way for a while anyway, to be honest with you. But I think that's going to get more common as this feature becomes better known. That does put the emphasis on, one, what does your company profile look like? And secondly, what do your employees look like? In fact, to be honest with you, if I was summarising the importance here, I'd put it in 3 ways. Number 1, is your company profile sufficiently optimised? Meaning, has it got the right keywords? I'll click through to Reed to show you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, so there's plenty of keywords in there. That's a good company description, tells you the right kind of information, has a list of all their specialisms and keywords within. Alright, so that's good, and that's what I'm talking about, and this is something that someone within your organisation will have control over to be able to change. Okay, so whilst that's important, that's not the only thing, as I've already shown you, because the other thing is, well, are your employees sufficiently optimized? So are their profiles, do they mention the right keywords within their profiles? Now they should be doing if they want people to find them as individuals, but now it's also doubly important because you want people to find them as employees of your company under the company profile. So that as well, but also, to be honest with you, if they are even if they have fantastically optimized profiles, if they don't associate themselves to your company profile correctly, then that won't count either. So definitely worth going back and just checking all the people that work within your organization and saying, well, have these people actually associated to the company profile? I'll show you what I mean. Again, I'll just use one of these as an example. If I go into here and then pick an individual, which is the first one that comes up. Okay, association is this. So as you can see, that's a correctly associated profile. The reason why that box opens up is that that is associated to the company profile. I click through and then I can go through and see that individual's company and the information therein. Now that means that her profile is counting in terms of keywords. There's not an awful lot of keywords in it, to be honest, but it does count towards the total in terms of optimizing Hayes's profile. Okay, if you don't see that little box next to a company name, then that's one that isn't associated, and doesn't matter how well optimized that is, there would be no optimization benefit for the company profile at all. Okay, so 3 things that I think we should be thinking about in that respect. Okay, great. I hope that's been helpful. Please feel free to get in contact. My contact details are coming on the screen now. Thank you very much.